There's been a debate in the AI community for decades now between the neats and the scruffies. And the neats say it really matters that we understand how our AI works. Not just that it works, but we understand exactly how it is working. Whereas the scruffies, they say it doesn't matter, it just matters that it works. And that is actually how Gen AI is working at the moment. We really don't understand how it's training. We don't understand how these models are doing what they're doing. We didn't really even predict it that much. It just suddenly started to act in the way they act. Does it matter? Is it scary? Does it stop progress if we don't understand? So a similar debate happens in software development, actually. In recent years, in the early 2000s, software developers embraced extreme programming. This idea that you don't need to plan out beautiful code before you write it. You can actually just go and code and rewrite and overwrite. It can be a bit messy. It only matters that it works, not that it's beautiful. And similarly, you can find an analogy between the different sciences. So neats, they're much more like a physics teacher. They're saying, a physicist will say, everything must be thoroughly worked out. We must understand the workings, not just get to the answer. Because the belief is that if you really understand the underlying workings, you will quite often find a beautiful and simple equation at the core of that system. No matter how complex, like E = MC², explains so much about matter and energy and nuclear fusion. And it's so beautiful and simple at its core. And people suspect AI could be the same. But similarly, the scruffies, they're much more like biologists. They're saying, well, these systems are complex and they're iterative and they're built and they're complex and it's hard to kind of really unpick it. It doesn't really matter as long as it works. And indeed, the human mind, we don't know how the human mind works. There was a recent study in the Journal of Physics Communication, just in the last week or two, that suggested that there were early experimental indications that the activity in the mind related to consciousness is using quantum mechanics, is using entanglement. Now, if that's the case, maybe even behind consciousness, there is, to the neat satisfaction, a beautiful and simple equation. And if we unpick AI, we'll find the same beauty and simplicity and logic, and that will reveal so much. Or maybe the scruffies would argue that in fact, quantum mechanics is even beyond our comprehension, no matter what equations we can write down. As Einstein said, if you think you understand quantum mechanics, then you haven't. So what do you think? Does it matter that we don't understand how AI works? And that the tools we use every day, we have no idea? Or is it just like the human mind? We use that every day and we don't know how that works. What do you think?